Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom, right? All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? And I want to give a mighty Shalom to all the mighty sisters that's out there in this truth, getting edified and getting built up in the spirit. And I also want to give a mighty Shalom to all the brothers out there that's laboring on the highways and hedges, man, going out and preaching this word in sincerity and in truth, man, right? Trying to seal the elect, right? And this is going to be a little quick exhortation through the spirit. And we're going to be talking about how these demons, man, and these spirits, and guess what? They jump. And you could be the next victim at any given moment if you don't keep your household in order, man. Right? So we're going to sit there and go to Sirach chapter 39 and verse number 28. That's where we're going to kick it off at. You understand? We're going to dive right into this thing at the end of the day. This video shouldn't be too long. You know, we're just going to kind of go through the spirit. Right? It says... Let me see real quick. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right? You understand? Hey, there's spirits out here, man, right, that are solely here to execute vengeance, man. Let me get Colossians chapter 3 and verse number 16. Right? And they didn't set themselves up, man. Right, so like I want Colossians chapter 1 and verse number 13. Right, and they didn't set themselves up, man. Right, you understand? But you got to understand that all these things were already made. Right? It's Colossians chapter 1 and verse number 16. It says, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Right? You understand? So at the end of the day, all these things were created from the beginning, man. There's nothing that has been just now created. There's nothing that just now came onto the earth, right? Because prophecy is being fulfilled or whatever the case may be, that a new invention just unfolded from the Lord. No, that thing was already here at the end of the day, right? Let's go back to Sirach chapter 39 and verse 28. We're going to read it one more time. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, and which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Right? Who does that sound like, man? That sounds like Satan, man. Right? In their vengeance, you understand? In their fury, you understand? Hey, the so-called white man, they're mad, man. Their kingdom is crumbling at the end of the day, you understand? Right? And so now they're falling out of power. Now, you understand that there's going to be some type of Salakia. There's going to be all types of spirits that's running around, man. You understand? A lot of fornication, a lot of lust, right? A lot of envy, a lot of greed, a lot of murderers, right? Backbiters, right? Talebearers. You understand? These are all spirits at the end of the day, right? So let's go ahead and get Acts chapter 19. We're going to get some accounts of these spirits, man, that sit there and hop on these people, that hop on our people at the end of the day, right? If you don't keep your candle lit bright enough, hey, guess what? These same spirits could sit there and take hold of you. So I'm going to start at 13. It says Acts chapter 19 and verse number 13. Let me start up a little bit real quick. It says Acts chapter 19 and verse number 4. It says, then said Paul, John verily baptized with the baptism of repentance, saying unto the people that they should believe on him which should come after him, that is, on Hamashiach Yahushai. When they heard this, they were baptized in the name of the Lord Yahushai. And when Paul had laid his hands upon them, the Holy Spirit came on them, and they spake with tongues and prophesied it. Right? And jumping down, it says, verse 11, and Yahweh wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul. Right? So Paul, he was performing miracles, man. Right? You understand? He was able to sit there and cast out evil spirits and devils. Right? Let's read 13. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus, saying, we adjure you by Yahushai, whom Paul preacheth. In verse number 15, it says, and the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushai I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them. so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. Hey, man, not everybody is meant to be casting out devils in this thing, man. Everybody has a different gift at the end of the day, right? You could read that in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, man. Everybody has a different spiritual gift. Some have the gift of prophecy, man. You understand? They're able to understand the times, right? The history and all that good stuff and the things of which are coming to pass, man. They're able to keep that fifth seal in the back of their mind. All right, we understand that this got to happen first, right? They are able to keep the end of the fourth seal going into the fifth seal. You understand, right? All right, Jacob's trouble about to come to pass. We just got to sit there and wait for the famines to sit there and start kicking up again, right? We got to sit there and wait for, what I'm saying? You got brothers that's on fire when it comes to that. You got brothers that's on fire when everybody should be a watchman at the end of the day, but some are better than others at the end of the day, right? You got brothers that's able to keep up with the times and the things that are going on, right? All right. South Korea and North Korea, they about to get it popping, man. China and Taiwan, I done sat there and seen China flying a whole bunch of planes in Taiwan's airspace, scouting the area, man, right? Things might be getting ready to pop off. Russia and Ukraine, Russia just sat there and openly admitted that they're ready to gun for other countries other than Ukraine and do the same thing, right? These are the things of which certain brothers are gifted in, man, right? So not everybody can sit there and cast out damn devils, man, right? Not everybody has the Holy Spirit dwelling with them, right, to do those things. You understand? And let me get 16. It says, Salakia 17. It says, and this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus, and fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord Yahushua was magnified. Right? Because now they knew that they had to depend on Yahushua. Right? Not everybody can sit there and be dependent on the damn Jews, man. Because you had the vagabond Jews who sat there and tried to exorcise these damn demons out of the man, right? And then the spirits hopped on them, right? It says, and the name of the Lord Yahushua was magnified, and many that believed came and confessed and shewed their deeds, right? And they were repented also in the spirit of the Lord. It says, verse 19, it says, many of them also which used curious arts brought their books together and burned them before all men. And they counted the price of them and found it 50,000 pieces of silver, right? You understand? So they sat there and did what they had to do, man, forsaking all of the things of which were, causing them to be snared, pretty much. So let's get 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse number 7. It says, and the woman answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands and David his 10,000s, right? And Saul was very wroth. Saul let this get to him, man, right? Just because a woman came up and was pretty much putting David, I'll say, on somewhat more of a stature than Saul, right? For the 10,000s of which he had slain. And it says, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom, right? He got that woe is me spirit, man, right? Sitting there talking about, well, damn, right? What worth am I, man, right? He must be the greatest person of all time, man. What more can he have than the kingdom, man? And that's the greatest thing you could possibly receive at the end of the day, right? Saul is pretty much being a smart ass, man. Sitting there talking, you might as well just get it right now. You understand? In verse number 9, it says, and Saul eyed David from that day and forward. Because he sat there and took heed unto what a woman had to say in her opinion, right? Now you got a brother envying another brother, having an evil eye towards his brother at the end of the day. And it says, and it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from Yahweh came upon Saul. Right? So now you got spirits coming upon you, man, because you're breaking the commandments. You understand? Once you start breaking those commandments, you literally write out an invitation to all the spiritual demons, man, and you send it express shipping, right? You understand? You sit there and you pay UPS to the spirit, right? A big ass package that sat there and said, hey, look, I'm not keeping the commandments. I'm being slothful. I have a slack hand, right? And you send it off to Satan, man. And Satan, and guess what? He's going to deliver that message over a big ass PA system to all his demons, man, right? And those demons, they're going to come after you, man. Right? It says, and it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from Yahweh came upon Saul, And he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand, as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's hand, and Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. Right? Hey, Saul wanted to put David to death, man. Right? And that's off. Right? All over an opinion that a woman had, man. Right? You can't sit there and give your heed, right, and your ear to women at the end of the day all the time. Right? You got to sit there and kind of, take heed to the things of which are knowledgeable and wise. Right? This is another account. It's 1 Kings chapter 22 and verse number 19. And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him, on his right hand and on his left. Right? So this is going on in third heaven, man. Right? Because we understand that the Lord is literally sitting, right? And he got the host of heaven on the right and the left hand side of him. Right? So it says, verse 20, And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. Right? Hey, you got a spirit that's literally ready to take any task, man. Right? Because you got angels and spirits, man. Right? Their sole office is to literally keep the commandments that the Lord tells them to do. Right? They don't have the same commandments as us. They don't have the same 613 law, statutes, and commandments that as us, mortal men. Right? And no, they do whatever the Lord tells them to do, man. You got angels and spirits that's on fire, man. Right? It says, And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Hey, at the end of the day, man, hey, look at Job, man. Right? Did that spirit sit there and prevail? Did Satan prevail, man? No. Because Job still retained his integrity at the end of the day, man. Right? And that's because Yahweh Shem Yahushai said so, man. He said, hey, look, you know what? You go ahead and try my servant. He's not going to fold, man. Right? But you may not prevail, man. You understand? I'm led to believe that's the same thing he said for Job during the account in the third heaven, man. You understand? But Ahab, he was ready to get overthrown by these damn evil spirit, by the spirit that came forth, man. Because it says, Thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. Right? Let's jump down to 29 real quick. It says, And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle. But put thou on thy robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. Right? And that evil spirit, man, kind of hopped on him, man. Right? He was persuaded in his mind that he would go ahead and fight in battle, man. Instead of them staying at the crib, man. You understand? And having his battlemen do what they do. Verse 31. But the king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had rule over his chariots, saying, Fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, Surely it is the king of Israel. Right? Because at the end of the day, Jehoshaphat had put on the garments of Ahab, if I'm not mistaken, up in the earlier verses. Right? And they pretty much thought, hey, that's the king of Israel. Right? It says, And they turned aside to fight against him. And Jehoshaphat cried out. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Right? Kind of caught him right in between where he didn't have shield, man. Right? Because you understand, you got shield in the front, man. You kind of girded in the front, you girded in the back. But hey, if somebody catch you in that side pocket, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's over. It says, smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, turn thine hand and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. Right? Hey, king of Israel, Ahab, he was trying to get the hell up out of there, man. Right? And it says, verse 35, and the battle increased that day, and the king was stayed up in his chariot against the Assyrians, and died at even, and the blood ran out of the wound into the midst of the chariot. Hey, Ahab died right there, man. You understand? These evil spirits can get you put to death, man. They got an office to fulfill, and they're going to do the best to accomplish that job, man. At the end of the day, they're going to prevail. You understand? All right, let's get this about Asmodeus, man. Because these demons, they got names too, man. You understand? But let's get into Asmodeus real quick. If brothers is familiar or sisters is familiar with the book of Tobit, you understand kind of what's going on. But let's read it. It says, verse number 8 of Tobit 3, because that she had been married to 7 husbands, whom Asmodeus, the evil spirit, had killed before they had lain with her. Dost thou not know, said they, that thou hast strangled thine husbands? Thou hast already had 7 husbands, neither wast thou named after any of them. Right? You understand? She was betrothed pretty much. Right? There was an arrangement for her to pretty much have 7 different husbands. But before they could even lay down with her, and guess what? They got put to death. Right? And this can happen to a lot of men. Right? Because I want to pull this real quick. We got men that sit there and lust after women. Hey, didn't the Lord sit there and say, if you lusted upon a woman, man, you committed adultery in your heart already? Right? Let's pull it. It's Matthew chapter 5 and verse number 28. It says, bear with me. It says, but I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Right? Hey, so you don't got to sit there and already, you don't got to betroth this woman, man. Right? And guess what? At the end of the day, Asmodeus is attached to the common day Eve, man. You understand? There's certain Eve that's walking around, right, that may have Asmodeus walking alongside with them, right? And just because you sat there and looked upon a woman because of her beauty, let's get that too. Right now, hey, guess what? That evil spirit could jump on you. Next thing you know, you get put to death, man. Right? If the Lord allows such. It says, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. Right? Now you got that lust flaming up inside of you, man. Right? Hey, and now you damn near ready to get put to death. You understand? Because you kind of you going off pretty much, man. It's not kinda, you just going off at the end of the day. Right? You looking upon another woman's beauty, right? Now you got this fire kindled up in you, this lust kindled up in you, right? And just like we said, Asmodeus could be on a common day woman, man. You understand? There's nothing new underneath the sun, right? And these things come back to the earth, man, through regeneration. You understand? These spirits, and guess what? They don't go nowhere, right? They're not in the mortal flesh like we are. And they're constantly roaming, man, seeking who they could sit there and hop on, right? So, hey, man, you got to stay circumspect. You got to stay diligent, man, right? Through the spirit of the Lord, man, right? You had Tobit, who pretty much, not Tobit, but Tobias, who pretty much was, he received mercy. He was able to lay down with this woman. Right, and nothing happened to him. You understand? But let's get Matthew chapter 12. I want to get Matthew chapter 12 real quick. And verse number 43. It says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. Hey, guess what, man? Right? Those spirits that you was dealing with in the world that you cut off, man, once you became a new creature and you repented and came into the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And guess what? Those spirits, you got to deal with them, and you also got to deal with the spirits, right, that could come unto you just for breaking one simple commandment, man. Right? Not fasting enough, not praying enough, not spiritually cleansing yourself. You understand? Right? These things could happen, man. You got to be circumspect. You got to be diligent. You got to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as it says in the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse number 10, because we understand that we don't wrestle against principalities or dominions or blood and flesh, but against spiritual wickedness in high places, roughly paraphrasing. You understand? So it says, from whence I came out, and when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he, and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself. Right? He findeth it empty, man. There is no fruit in there, man. Right? There's no spirit dwelling within you, man. That's keeping you girded and armored, right? The spiritual armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not on you, man. So therefore, it's swept, man. It's empty. It says, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. You understand? Now your latter end, hey, guess what? You 7 times worse off than what you would have been, man, if you would have just sat there and kept that spiritual armor on you, man. Right? I want to get 2 Kings chapter 1 real quick. Now we're going to talk about Beelzebub, right? So this is the book of 2 Kings chapter 1 and verse number 2. It says, right now this is after Ahab got put to death in the last chapter of 1 Kings. Now we're moving on to 2 Kings, man, right? And we got an evil spirit yet again. You understand? And Beelzebub, they refer to, when you look it up, as the chief of the devils, right? The chief of the demons, right? So let's read this. 2 Kings chapter 1 and verse number 3, it says, but the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah the Tishbite, arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, is it not because there is not a God in Israel that you go to inquire of Beelzebub, the Salaki? I want to start up a verse. Salaki. It says, and Ahaziah fell down through a lattice in his upper chamber that was in Samaria and was sick. And he sent messengers and said unto them, go inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this disease. And that's off, man. Right? He's going to the spiritual demon Satan to sit there and seek answers. Hey, who else did that? Saul, man, when he went to that damn witch, right? To seek Samuel, man. Right? Hey, Ahaziah, he sat there and was doing the same damn thing pretty much. Right? Seeking of the devil as opposed to the living God. It says, verse 3, but the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, the Tishbite, right? The prophet Elijah, man. Right? And he heard knowledge of this because the angel of the Lord came down and told him. Right? And now Elijah had a mission that he had to accomplish. It says, arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria and say unto them, is it not because there is not a God in Israel that ye go to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron? Now therefore, thus saith the Lord, thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shall surely die. And Elijah departed. Right, man? Hey, at the end of the day, because he went to go seek after the damn devil, the deceivers, man, right, for an answer, and not the Most High God, right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, hey, guess what? There was a judgment that came upon him, man. That sickness, hey, he's not going to recover from that, right? And Ahaziah, hey, you know what I'm saying? He gave up the ghost, man, because he wasn't able to recover at the end of the day. And you could read later on in this chapter how Ahaziah, he pretty much tried to have his 50 captains of 50, right, and his multitude of the army to pretty much go and slay Elijah, man, or bring him up to where he was, right? And this is when Elijah called down fire from heaven thrice, man, right, and put all those damn captains of 50 to death, right? And finally he went down to go with them, right? And Ahaziah died. And the latter, what I want to read, Salakia. It's Khan, verse number 17, it says, so he died according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah had spoken. So Ahaziah gave up the ghost, man. You understand? These things could get you killed, man. Right? It's nothing to play with. These spirits, man, hey, guess what? They'll cause you to fall, man. Cause you to fall into snares and traps, right? And you get put to death by the Lord. Let's get this. Matthew chapter 8 and verse number 32. It says, let me see. Let me start at 28. It says, and when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahushua, thou son of God? Hey, these spirits, they were afraid of Yahushua, man. Right? They were trying to sit there and do what they was doing. Yahushua sat there and came as their maker, right, to the front of them and said, the hell y'all doing, man? Right? And they were wroth, man. They cried out. And it says, art thou come hither to torment us before the time? Verse 30, and there was a good way off from them and herd of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, go. Right? Yahushua didn't even have to say nothing but one word, man. Right? You see the red letter. One word, go. 2 letters. And guess what? And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea and perished in the waters. Right? Hey, so these spirits, they're jumping, man. They go to and fro. They do whatever the Lord commands them to do, man. Right? Well, there's a chain of command at the end of the day. Right? You got the Lord, and you got Satan underneath the Lord, man. Right? And the Lord's command is Satan to do whatsoever the Lord pleases him, man. Right? You understand? And so Satan, now he's commanding the demons to fulfill ultimately the ordinance that was given unto him by Yahushua, right? Which was delivered from the Most High God at the end of the day, right? Because all the Son does is keep the commandments of his Father, right? There's a chain of command at the end of the day. So, therefore, you know, these spirits will sit there and hop to and fro at the end of the day. You got to keep yourself on point and constantly girded. Otherwise, things could happen to you, right? And your judgment, hey, could be your your downfall at the end of the day. Let me get this. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse number 15. It says, and when you spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. And yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Right? Hey, we got to sit there and spiritually cleanse ourselves every day. Hey, you take a shower every day, man. Right? Just to keep yourself from stinking. Right? To get all that dirt and grime off of you from working in that dusty old warehouse, man. Right? Or working on that damn outside, man. Right? Installing solar panels, all that different things. Whatever job you got, man. Right? And you take a shower every day to sit there and wash that filth off of you. How much more on a spiritual note? Right? And how do we wash off the filth? Right? We make prayers to the Lord, man. We give up supplications. Right? We give ourselves that spiritual sacrifices, man, by going on the highways and byways and shaking the hand and reproving our people, man, telling them to come back to the Lord, right? We're giving alms, and you understand, we're doing justice unto our people, man, right? By correcting them and reproving them and bringing them back into the fold, right? And also fasting, right? You're able to clean out these spirits, you understand? So let's get this real quick. It's Matthew chapter 17. Hey, you got spirits that's the only way they'll come out, man. It's through prayer and fasting, just like the Lord said. This is the book of Matthew chapter 17 and verse number 18. Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? And Yahushua said unto him, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. Right? So at the end of the day, right, he pretty much told them, hey, your unbelief is what caused you not being able to do these things. And besides, right, this kind only go out by prayer and by prayer and fasting. Right? So there's certain spirits out there in the world that you can only cleanse yourself, that you can sit there and only get that stain out of your garment by prayer and fasting, man. Right? The tide, and guess what? It's not gonna cut it, man. Right? That regular day-to-day detergent that you use, which is going out to the highways and the byways and shaking a hand, right? Which is giving alms, right? Hey, guess what? That's not gonna cut it, man. Which is that damn spiritual tide, right? Or that spiritual Clorox that you're trying to bleach your damn garment with. You're trying to get the stain out. You're scrubbing, and still not coming out. Hey, guess what? You got to give yourself to prayer and fasting in order to get that stain out, right? To get that blemish and that blot out, and to get that spirit away from you, right? So we're going to go ahead and close out with this last precept of the spirit, right? But brothers got to stay circumspect, as well as sisters, man, right? At the end of the day, y'all are weaker vessels, right? So, brothers, hey, if y'all got wives at the end of the day, you got to make sure your rib, she's up to par, right? She's walking circumspect just as you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to lead your household in righteousness and take care of the things of which are, vulnerable, for lack of better terms. So, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, and verse number 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hands. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful, and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil, and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. You understand? Salakia. Got the hiccups. Right? But at the end of the day, do good unto the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? Do righteousness unto him. Right? And the Lord will never cause you to be overthrown or forsaken. He's going to literally uphold you with his hands, man. You understand? He's going to sit there and protect you at the end of the day. Let me get this real quick in 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, at verse number 30, I believe. It says, 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse number 29. It says, my hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. You understand? And that's if you're keeping the commandments. That's if you're doing the things of which the Most High is pleased in, right? So, with that, I want to bid Almighty Akim and Akwathium, which is the sisters and the brothers and the sisters, right? A mighty shalom. All praise to the Most High. Lord willing, this was edifying through the Spirit. And Lord willing, brothers will walk more circumspect in this truth and understand, right, that there's spiritual wickedness constantly going on, man. Right? There's spiritual things that are constantly, there's spiritual counsels constantly going on, man. Right? Talking about you, man. Right? And the things of which that could overcome you. Right? If you're not keeping these commandments. So, with that.